Well, hey crafty friends, my name is Hiedi Scott, and on this video I am going to show you how you can add a ton of personality and fun to your projects using dots, squiggles, doodle-y-do's, and all kinds of fun things like that. And we are going to be using my favorite accessory from Magnolia Design Company, and these are a set of 8 chalk, paste, and ink pens. Each one, this is the chalk paste. There's a gold, silver, white, and black. And then in the chalk paste, whoops, this is chalk paste, this is ink. There's a gold, silver, black, and white. But I want to let you know that Magnolia has some other sets that are equally fabulous. This one right here just happens to be my personal favorite and my go-to. So this is what we're going to be using today to add a ton of personality, and I'm going to show you exactly how to use these to make dots, squiggles, and doodly-doos for your projects. So what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to show you how these work on canvas duck, which is a kind of really thick canvas fabric that I like to use to make stuffies. What is a stuffy? A stuffy is a soft sign that can be used, for example, on the front door. It could be a door hanger. It could be hung on a knob on a cabinet. It could be a Christmas tree ornament. It could be a dough bowl filler. There's a ton of different things that you can make with stuffies. So let me show you what that is real quick, and then we will jump right in to all the fun and personality using this pen set, which is an accessory that Magnolia Design Company carries. Okay, so I have a couple of examples that I've been working on recently. This is one, and I'm just now realizing that I did not flip my camera. I'm so very sorry about that. It says Merry Christmas. It's a big ornament that could be used as a door hanger. And I hope you noticed all the fun stuff going on with that one. Here is a little stocking that could be used on, could be hung on a command adhesive on a door, over a cabinet. I mean, you could probably put this on the Christmas tree if you would like. Here's a smaller one that could be a Christmas tree ornament, or it could be a dough bowl filler. Anyways, these are stuffies, and you can make them all different sizes. They're really fun, but I did want to mention that this pen and ink set and these other ones can also be used on hard surfaces like chalkboards, painted wood, stained wood, anything that is a hard surface, you can use the chalk paste pens on as well. So this is some of my best dots and squiggles, and we're going to jump right in, and I'm going to show you how to create that. This was pretty cute, just with the Merry Christmas across this pink band, but all the other stuff I think really takes it to the next level. Okay, so those things I just showed you were made using something that looks like this. It's just canvas duck fabric. You can buy it at any craft store, at a lot of fabric stores. You want to get the thickest that you can possibly find. And I have one that I'll show you how to assemble in just a few minutes. And we're going to do some fun stuff on this. But before we actually do that, I want to show you how easy it is to do all these fun things. So this is a piece of canvas that I painted earlier with crimson Waverly paint, with ballet slipper Waverly paint, and with white. And then I used one of these little bouncer brushes to create my circles, because circles are super fun on stuffies, and there's a ton you can do with them. So I'm going to show you some of the fun stuff that you can do using the different things I've got on my little example here. All right, and we're going to be using the ink pens today. My two favorites are these two. I also love the silver and gold, but I love I really love the black and white. Okay, so let's start here in the red. A couple things that you can do. One thing you could do is draw a circle around your circle. Easy peasy. Then you can put, like, I think it looks sort of like a little comma. This makes your circle almost look like a bubble. Then you can do some little dots. And then it kind of looks almost dimensional. Another thing you can do with your circles is you can do like this little jig-jaggedy kind of thing around it. And then you can do whatever really that you might want in the center. So those are some fun ideas. Another thing that I did on this one right here was I did a swirly-do. It's basically this shape right here, a spiral. So you're just gonna start in the center of your circle, and you want to give your paint plenty of time to dry. There you go. There's a spiral. And then you can add dots if you would like. Another thing I like to do is I like to just do a series of dots throughout my project. Like, can you see the little 3 dots in white? And I like to mix the colors. I think it makes it more fun. Oh, I didn't tell you anything about these. Okay, so this is part of that ink chalk paste pen set. It's my favorite accessory. And when you're gonna get these, they are gonna come with a tip that looks like this, which you can pull it out and stick it back in the other way. This way is a rounded tip. The other way is chiseled. So it's just totally personal preference, what you like the best, but I like this one the best. And then you're gonna want to prime it just a little bit by just pushing it down on a piece of paper, and that will get the medium inside flowing, just like with any other kind of a pen. Okay, so I want to show you some dots. You could do 3 dots. You can just do random dots. And I know this is really basic. You're probably thinking, oh my word. I know she loves those pens, but she doesn't really need to show me all of this. Well, I think it's kind of fun, and the things you can do are endless. And you can just be who you are and do it however you like. So let's see, what else do I have here? The next thing I want to show you is how you can do like some commas outside of the circle. And when I'm doing that on a project, I might do 2. I do all of the dots in that same area. So on another dot in the same project, I would put it off to that same side. And I might make it smaller to match the size of the circle. Okay, let's talk about drawing out different sections of your project using these awesome pens. Okay, here you can see that around the whole project, I did a line with 3 dots, and then I did that in this section right here. A line, dot, 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 line, dot, dot, dot. And let me show you how that is done. So let's pretend that our project is pink and it has an area that's white. And pretend that that was a precise line, which you can achieve using painter's tape. Here's the line dot, dot, dot. Line, dot, dot, dot. And I like to vary the length of the lines just to give it some interest. They don't have to be all the same length. Another thing you can do is a squiggle dot, and I'll show you that. Squiggle dot. Squiggle dot. Squiggle. I mean, seriously, this accessory, these pins, just can take your projects up a million degrees to the super, super, super cute level. So that's a squiggle dot. Another thing you can do is a line with a little scribble on it. Okay, so here's a line, and here's a scribble. And then you can throw in some dots if you want, here and there. And then if you want to take it up a notch, you can use a contrasting color, like I love this silver. So let's do this on the squiggle and then the dot. What I would do is I would just basically go on one side of it with my contrasting color. And I hope what I'm doing here is inspiring you of all the fun things that you can do. So you could do this kind of a project on stuffies, like I love to make. You could do it on wall signs. You can do it on chalkboards. The one thing that you cannot really use this pen set for is with stencils. And I'll tell you why. The reason why it doesn't work well with stencils is because the medium that is inside of it is a little bit too thin. And when you put it over the top of a stencil like this is the one that I used on this. I just used the Merry Christmas part. But if I was to take a pin and use it over the top of this, it's gonna go through the mesh holes and just kind of bleed everywhere. It's not thick enough like a paste or an ink. So that's the one thing that really these pens are not designed for. But other than that, you can make tea towels. And if you use the ink, once it's dry, you heat set it as regular, either with a heat press or a hot iron, then those tea towels are totally washable. You can use it on t-shirts, on tote bags, on pillows, on just about anything that you could imagine. So let's see. Let me show you how to finish a stuffy. And I'll tell you just a little bit about this, and then we'll be all finished. And hopefully you'll be thinking, oh my goodness, I gotta get some of those pens. Either these or this set right here is called Metallic, or this set right here is called Earth. Either way, you'll totally love them. And they're really long lasting. Okay, so for this one, I did a whole bunch of dots. I did that little inside comma. I outlined the circles. I did line, dot, line, dot, line, dot. Up here, I did something that sort of looks more like a canning jar lid, but that's what I came up with. But it hopefully reminds you that it's a Christmas tree ornament topper. Okay, and I just cut out another piece. of canvas duck that is the same size as this, and I glued all the way around it, except you got to leave a spot open so you can stuff it. Stuffies need to be stuffed. And so I'm just using some polyfill. If you don't have access to like a bag of polyfill, if you have an old pillow, you can take that apart and use that. But you can get polyfill everywhere. Okay, so I'm just going to stuff it. And how full you like your stuffies is a personal preference thing. There's no right or wrong. Okay, this is pretty full. You can see that better when you look at the back of it. Now what I'm gonna do is really cram all of that polyfill in there good. And I'm gonna use my hot gluing device. And I'm just gonna put a bead of glue along the edge, and then we're going to press this down flat to make basically a sandwich. Frequently when you do that, you end up with a little bit of your polyfill that kind of wants to pop out of the edge, and you can fix that just with a pair of scissors. And voila. So I hope that I gave you tons of ideas and that I showed you sufficiently different ideas for what you can do with these pins. I think you should give them a try if you haven't tried them before. They are seriously awesome, and you will seriously get hooked on doing dots and squiggles and doodly-doos on all of your projects. So, hope you enjoyed this. Hope it gave you some inspiration. Have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day, and thanks for joining me.